Start recording. Okay, so this is the session January 24th, 21st, Friday. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of a mixture of things, to be honest with you. Because I know some of you guys were curious about those statistics, the table that I'm talking about. So I guess I kind of wanted to discuss those. And we can kind of further walk through them if you guys have any questions. Does that sound good? So let's get started, right? It is currently the second Wednesday, 02 June 2021. If you guys have any questions or if you guys have any comments, just let me know and we'll walk through it together. But for the most part, I want to get through this relatively quick. The more trades we put on, I guess, the more we can kind of discuss them. So, it is currently 10 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. I want to see if we can highlight a couple of these opens. Let me just find a good place. Give me 1 second. Okay, that should work. Okay. So I'm going to mark out 9:30, which is equities open, which is just around here. So that's equities open. What I do like about this is that this would be the order block. And that's, I believe, the trade that we took earlier. So we had, I don't really like that that's the 1 minute chart, whatever. Okay. Yeah, so we had a sweep of these lows into the internal. We had a close back above on that 1 minute chart. That becomes our order block. Retracement back in, expansion, consecutive expansion. And so now, if I mark out also, was 6 a.m. open anywhere around here? No. Okay. So I do like this. I do believe if we come back into this general area, and I see another little shift to the upside, then could potentially be setting up for something nice. So I'm going to go ahead and switch this over to 30 seconds. Let's continue. Okay, so there is that retrace back into the order block. And so now if we get a close back above this high here, I'm going to be paying close attention to it and see if I can get some sort of continuation based on this here. Do you guys agree with me? And on top of that, we had 10 a.m. open, which means that we're below the 4-hour open. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put on a trade from this entry here. And I'm going to place my stop at this low. My bias is bullish. We just tapped into this daily buy side imbalance. We had that Tuesday swing, Wednesday continuation. So I kind of do want to see a continuation here up into these highs. So I'm going to go ahead and place order. Risk, let's do 3%, actually 2%. Risk amount, buy, limit, just do market, save in journal. And let's continue this forward, shall we? So overall, a really nice continuation here. I'm not a huge fan of that. Okay. Some sideways movement here. I want to see if we can get a close back above this candle's high. I don't want to use the current swing that's in place. I want to use a failure swing that's a little bit higher up. See if we can get a closure back above that high. And then if we do, I'm going to go ahead and move to break even. Or actually, what I'll do is I'm going to trail my stop just to this high here. I'm going to let this continue play out. and it looks like we might get stopped out here. Yeah, it's unfortunate. But when marking this off, oof. But when marking, tough lesson in here, to be honest. Dumb question, but when marking the 6 a.m. open, do you see it as taking out the 2 a.m. low high before moving to the lower time for an entry? No. So tough lesson in this one, to be honest. I moved my stop a little bit too prematurely. I was in a rush to move that. But I will make note of that for the next one, and we'll just let the next one kind of ride. But overall, not necessarily a huge fan of the fact that we closed below this low. This is kind of why you want to keep in mind of keeping your stops a little bit wide, and in this particular case, it was just 91 ticks. Because as opposed to having your stop here on this swing low, or even this one lower, you would have gotten stopped out, and it would have gone in your direction, and you probably would have gotten slightly more pissed. So just keep in mind and bear in mind that when you are using an order block, so there's a difference between an order block and a CS, or an order block, a CSD, or a confirmation entry. Because in this case, I was using this candle here as my confirmation. So I wanted to see it close above. That doesn't signify that it is an order block. So if I am using the order block, which in this case it's this one here, I need to make sure that my stop is appropriately taken into consideration, a room for error or margin on this here. So this was a win, but I don't like the fact that I did in fact close kind of prematurely. So moving on to the next one, it's 10:44, so I want to keep it between 9 and 11. Did I go to next day open? Oof. Okay, so here we have, did I accidentally skip through this session? Oh man, I did. Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. I accidentally did skip through that session. Custom settings. Next day open. I'm going to do start of New York is going to be 9 o'clock. Save. So if I do go to next session, no. Here, hold on. Let me just fix this. I'm going to just do next day open is going to be 9:30 or 9 o'clock in the morning. There we go. Because then I can just do go to next day open. Okay. So here is next day open. I'm assuming this is some sort of news event. Okay, Justin, to answer your question, when marking the 6 a.m. open, do you see it as taking at the 2 a.m. high or low? I don't, because if I'm trading in a trending environment, I prefer not to see, or you're more likely to see closures above the previous candle's high than you are to see a sweep of a low. And that's a common misconception that a lot of us, I feel, end up understanding a little bit later on. And it's the fact that if we take a look at a trending market and we want to see a sweep of, for example, low here, you're more likely to see a close above this than you are to see this. But of course, you do want to see some sort of discounted price point. And so that's kind of where the three forms of fair value come in. It's like you either want to be below the opening price of a candle, you either want to be at a discount, or you either want to sweep a low. But in the cases where it's just like an uptrend, you're more likely to see just an internal to external idea. So yeah. So in this case, I'm not a huge fan of being, okay, first and foremost, if I was buying up here, right, if I was buying on Wednesday, then I'm still likely to buy at an even more discounted price on this day, because we did take kind of a deep, I'm on the 1 minute chart, Jesus. We did kind of take a deep dive here. Okay, so we have equal lows, but we also have equal highs. So there's a bit of conflicting ideas there. So those are my equal highs. I wonder if the standard deviation's kind of, if it aligns with 2. Man, what happened to my settings? Yeah, so 2 to 2.5, just about. 2 to 2.5. We have our 6 a.m. open, which I'm going to outline with a vertical line, which is just around here. So that means 6 a.m. open, sweep of low, failure swing, order block here. So I want to see if we can get some sort of continuation to the upside. So I'm going to let 930 kind of play into its magic. Yeah, I'm going to let 930 kind of play into its magic. I should probably make this a little faster, right? Okay, so there's 930. I'm going to slow it down a little bit. Okay, never mind. This is just gunning. Would you take a trade before 930? I would take a trade before 930 if it sets up. So it looks like we might not get a retracement on this. It's just one of those days. New 4-hour candle. Oh yeah, 6 a.m. is the 4-hour candle for 930. Yeah, so it looks like we're not getting an entry on this, which I'm not a big fan of. I don't really like days where it doesn't even give you a 5-minute entry. But it is what it is. So I'm going to make the bold assumption here that the next day is going to most likely be an up close day, considering that this down close candle is impulsing us higher. So if I go to next day open, we have equal highs. This looks like a really, really clear market maker buy model. Equal highs. I'm going to outline 6 a.m. open. 6 a.m. open. So very, very shallow low, open low, expansion higher. I want to see if we can get some sort of internal here. What time is it? Yeah, 9 o'clock. I want to see if we can get some sort of internal, preferably a 30-minute or a 50-minute internal. And then we can see a continuation higher. I just want some sort of discount. It doesn't have to come into discount of this leg. It just has to come into discount of the general. Yeah. So let's see if we can get some sort of discount here. Sweep of a low, maybe. Come on, give me something. Okay, so there's that 15 or 30-minute fair value gap. 930 is coming up. We got to close above that candle. So I am comfortable with the idea of buy stopping this into these highs and then having my stop here. So what I'll do is, where's midnight? This is what I'm seeing. So we're below midnight. We're just below midnight. We're at discounted price point. We swept this low. A close above this candle would mean that that's my order block. 6 a.m. is the 4-hour candle. And so what I'm going to do is, if I place my order, I do buy stop in at a 2% risk. So that should hypothetically, watch me get tagged in and stopped out. So I'm not going to move to break even. I'm just going to let this, yeah. Okay, so we got stopped out on this one. I'm curious to see if this plays out because that would actually be hilarious. This would be hilarious. And then, let's see. A bit of a choppy open. Reminds me of current price action. But anyways, we'll continue to let this play out. We'll continue. Hey, when you mark your OB, it's not the consecutive candles before the low. It would ideally be the last one that punctured the imbalance. Yeah, a bit of an ugly open, but overall the bias still remains kind of bullish. Nothing there. Do we have, what time is it? 10:21. Do I want to reconsider maybe another long? CSD would be the swing points. The OB is just the candle itself. So for example, in this case, let me just get rid of some of these drawings. So for example, in this case, I would be considering the CSD from this point because it's the last significant swing point here that led into the lows. So there's some news on this. That market was chopping sideways. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there is. But it's fine. I don't really want to go through the effort of. So my market maker buy model idea kind of still remains. I just want to see if maybe we can get a reaction here. I still really want to long this. And I do like the fact that, okay, I'm going to give this one last attempt. And I want to see if we get a close back above that high. Okay, sweet. So I'm going to go ahead and long this. And then my stop is going to be at this low. We're going to aim towards that high. What do you guys think? And then not only that, we're also below the 10 a.m. opening price. So the 4-hour candle would kind of look like something like this. So 4-hour open. So open, low, and then high. Looks good. Yeah. Reaction off here. So I'm going to consider this swing point as my place order. So, okay, but before we continue this, you guys see why I'm kind of taking this. So we had a shift here. We now have a sweep of this low, which was formed at 9:40. Previous hour low was swept, right? So previous hour low swept. Order block at 10:15 below the opening price. We're at a discounted price point, and we have equal highs, which signify my variable number 1. So I will take this any day of the week. And let's see if we can pull this forward. And if we get stopped out, then that'll be the last trade for the day. So I want to see ideally a closure above 760. I don't like that we're consolidating this much and prices being held down. But we'll see if it decides to spool above the highs. What time is it? 10:40. Okay, so I'm going to speed this up a little bit. So it looks like wow, this is ugly. It looks like I might get stopped out here. No? Okay. I'll take it. I will take it. Okay, so moving above those highs, I want to see it. I need to see it expand. Not a big fan of the consolidations. I'm not going to move to break. This is way outside of my time window. I'm assuming 2 p.m. is... No? Yeah, this is way outside of my time window. But we'll take it. A long ass trade, yeah. That was way outside of the time window. But our entry was at 10:20, so that was about... what was it? 4-hour trade? Jesus. Okay. I'm really happy. I was slightly, not scared, but I was slightly worried at this point here that a close below continuation would have led to a stop out. But okay, no, this one was good. We made up for the previous the previous loss. Okay, but does anybody 4 hours for 50 points trade? Yeah. This was the 2021. So, I mean, I kind of vaguely remember 2021 being a very bullish year. So that's kind of why I'm like my bias. I'm slightly biased towards towards longs. But overall, this was a really, really clean setup. And I would take this without even thinking every single day of the week. I mean, if you look at today's price action, it looks a little bit similar, especially with the consolidation. Not similar after like 940, but I'm talking about previous to 940. So overall, yeah, I would take this within a heartbeat, to be honest. You have your original consolidation, which is your variable number one. You have a discounted price point, right? You have a visit back down into discount into an internal, and you get a closure above the candle that punctured that internal and a sweep of previous hour low with a 5-minute close above the candle that swept the previous low. So do you guys see like kind of the thematic? Is that even a word? The theme here? Overall, really, really clean, really, really clean day. I really like this one. I would, again, this is the bread and butter. Internal, external. Okay, moving forward. Go to the next day open. I'm going to keep my bullish bias here. Go out on a limb. What I don't like is the fact that we're so high above this previous swing point. And I think, okay. So overall, I do obviously think we end up here because NQ only goes up. So that'll be our draw for the meantime. Would I want to see some sort of discounted price point here or a visit back down into 6 a.m. open if possible? That would just be lovely. So I'm going to mark out 6 a.m. open. And then I'm also going to mark out an hourly or a 30-minute internal level. Okay, so this itself, a sweep of this low here. Impulse move higher, so they could definitely reference back into this retracement, the start of this retracement. So again, just keeping it very simplistic when it comes to the entry. I want to be below the opening price of the 4-hour candle, whether that be 6 a.m. or 10 a.m. So I'm going to go back to the 5-minute chart, and I'm going to let this kind of play out and see if we get a retracement back into discounted price point and that internal. Okay, so here I would want to see a close above this candle's high. What I don't have and what I'm missing is variable number one. So yeah, what day is it? Tuesday. Yeah. So Monday low of week still in play. Yeah, I would need to see a close back above that candle's high. No close is no entry for me. So no close yet. So now I'm framing. Oof, this is ugly. I don't like this. Okay, I'm gonna let this play out. What time is it? It's 10:40, so 20 minutes. And then kind of my last point of defense would be this one here. That would be my last point of defense. Okay. I do like the fact that we closed back above this. I am going to take a stab at a long. The 10 a.m. current 10 a.m. price or opening price is here. So we have open, low, failure swing. I'm sure there's an SMT here of some sorts, and then I'll just target this internal price point. I'm going to go head over to a 1 minute chart and see if we can get nope, no confirmation. And okay, so now we have a sweep of this low. Let's see if it just decides to completely spool below. Yeah, which is looking like it. And then we're outside of my time window, so that just means I'm just going to go ahead and skip to the next day. So there's no confirmation to the upside here, unfortunately. So I'm going to go ahead and skip to the next day because we are outside of our time window. So next day opening, next day. So previous day closed red. Monday still remains the low of the week, which I do like statistically. I'm going to step over to the 5 minute chart and kind of mark out the same things that we have been marking out this whole time. So 6 a.m. open price, which is just around here. So a very, very shallow low. We have a bit of a consolidation here, a move higher. And then we have our external price point here, which would be our short-term draw, because my long-term draw still remains the high above at 14,064. So what I'm going to mark out here is this candle, which is the order block, the candle that has currently driven us higher on this current leg. And then what I'm going to do is I want to see a sweep of some low or some sort of internal, because this isn't really convincing me. Or actually, yeah. If we come back down, sweep 815 low, I would be happy, or previous hour low. That would be just enough for me to potentially see a continuation. Yes, yeah, I'm recording. Okay, so there is equities open. Let's see if it's just going to decide to spool above, or if it's going to give us some sort of internal to play with. So it's now 10:15. Okay, so there's a sweep of that low, which I am a big fan of. I'm going to head over to a 1 minute chart. I also believe midnight should be around here. So midnight is 821. So not close, but no cigar. 821. Okay, so now I need to see a closure above. Oh man. This candle. Which we did get. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take a stab at some longs. A couple factors here, which are the same ones I've considered this whole time. We're below the 4-hour candle opening price. We had a sweep of a low, and this would be the order block. What I am going to do, though, is... Yeah, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and... place an order here with the stop at that low, and then target that internal level. What do you guys think? It's a 1-to-1, but I'm not super confident in this. So I'm going to de-risk a little bit. Not looking too good. Not looking too hot. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this. So I'm going to go ahead and close this break even, actually. I'm not a huge fan of this. I wanted to, yeah, we got really close to my stop. I think I'm okay with taking off 100% of my position here and just letting this kind of play out. I am curious to see what happens. But I'm not a huge fan of the price action. Yeah, that's ugly. Even with the fast forward, that probably would have been such a mental drain. Not such, but would have been annoying, tedious. I'm gonna speed things up a little bit. Yeah, that would have been a stop out. Okay. I'll take it. Moving on to the next day. Especially now, because we've had to adapt to this kind of price action recently. If we get that close to my stop and we get back to break even, I'm just going to take break even. It's okay. I don't care if it goes in my direction. I'm not going to DCA into a position that's down. Next day open. Okay. Oh, man. Okay. So we had a sweep of previous day low. Monday still remains the low of the week, which is good statistically. It's Thursday. I'm going to mark out the same old. So I'm going to mark out 6 a.m. open to kind of know where we are. Kind of 4-hour awareness, right? We had a sweep of this low, which I'm assuming was at news. Sweep of that low. News. So now we're just seeing a continuation higher. It's currently 9 o'clock in the morning. I want to see if we can get some sort of internal level to be tagged, which would be nice. But what we do have here is a failure swing number 1, failure swing number 2, and a higher swing here, which means that we're likely going to be drawing towards these highs. This looks like a really, really clean market maker buy model. And as I said, we had a sweep of previous day low, or Tuesday low, pardon me. So what I'm going to be paying close attention to is going to be a retracement back into this general area. And then let's see if I can get a lower time frame confirmation. And so as you can see, this orange line, well, not soon to be orange, represents the 6 a.m. opening price. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up a little bit, see if we can get some sort of internal price point. I'm really confident in that we tag those highs. And then if I mark out premium and discount of this range, yeah, we just tagged into premium. We're at a discount. So I'm going to go ahead and move to a lower time frame and see if we get some sort of action. No retracement. Not even on the 1 minute. Okay, nice. Should have just marketed, huh? So no retracement, not even on the 1 minute, which is really, really unfortunate. Let's see if 10 a.m. gives us an opening. Nothing yet. Yeah, these days are hard to catch because it's either you're in the move or you're not getting any of it, to be honest. In the move early or you're not getting any of it. And as soon as I closed above this should have been the order block, so I should have longed. But it's okay. Right idea. Just no real structure. See if we can get some sort of retracement back into. No. 10:30. Nothing. Okay. 15-minute internal. No, I haven't reviewed it. Did you already view that you won or no? No, that was a break even, Paul. I don't know. Yeah, that was a break even. It stopped me break even, and then it would have hypothetically gone to my stop loss, and then it went to my target. So it was just like another one of those cases where it's like right idea but wrong execution or wrong approach. But that's okay. Honestly, for a Friday, I'll take it. I took like 3 break-even trades this week. Okay, so there's our 15-minute internal. Usually on trending days like this, 15-minute internals will hold. So, I mean, if we get a discount, even better. Even better, to be honest. And we are close. There it is. Okay, so there's discount. Okay, it's beautiful. I like that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and long this if we get to close above that. If we get to close above 859, I'm not gonna think about this too much, to be honest. Place my stop at this low. I'm not gonna think about this too much because I can kind of already see the 2 to 2.5 deviations. No, close. I was so confident. -4. Yeah, -3.5 to 4. We tagged back into 9 equities open, which I love. So a retracement back into equities open. This is the candle responsible for that. Close above, equal highs. This is a market maker buy model. My stop is going to be, I'm actually going to widen this a little bit maybe. Actually, no, it's fine. So this looks just like the other one. Again, they all look similar, right? And then I'm going to keep this at 10 seconds, see if we can get... What time is it? 11:06. Already loving it. I don't like the lethargicness of it, but I do love it. Discount, come on. This is why you wait. My majority of my losses used to come from impatience. I mean, they still do, but they used to come from not waiting from some sort of internal or discount. But I promise you, if you wait for an internal price point reversal that's at 2 to 2.5 and you filter just for that, or you wait for a discount below equilibrium, your trades will significantly improve. And I speak from personal experience and from thousands and thousands of mistakes. I also know that this year is super bullish, so I'm just going based off of what I remember. I remember 21 being a super bullish year, so it's like Nasdaq just up. I don't care what day it is. If it's low, it's going back up. Something along those lines. That could be why I'm so perma bullish all the time. Which can be bad, to be honest, on days like today. Jesus. Okay, I'm gonna speed this up. Come on. So close. Are you kidding me? Are you actually kidding me? I'm gonna move to break even. Screw it. Come on. There's no way. It's 3:16, please. Let's go! Oh, let's go. Jesus. That took the whole day. From 10:56 to 4 to close. What the hell? Anyways, Few things. Discount. Boom. Equities open. Boom. Confirmation. Close above the candle that punctured the opening price and discount. Boom. Close above. Equal highs on the 1 minute. Market maker buy model. It's been a lovely session. It has been an absolute just beautiful session with my perma bullishness. Yeah, so we took, I believe, a loss, a win, a break even, and then a win. So 2 wins, 1 break even, and a loss. Would you suggest to journal backtest trades like you would journal your live trades, or not that important? That's a good question. Let me actually input what I would journal and what I do. So I only really highlight journal trades that kind of really stand out to me. I don't journal absolutely every single one. I know some people suggest that they do, but here's kind of what I would suggest doing. Let me just put the text in here. So for example, like I would have a checklist, right? So this is what I would do. And this is what I do with my trades currently. So I'm just going to move this here. So I do, for example, remove drawings. And this is kind of how I mark it out. So because I do the 2 variables, that's variable number 1, that's variable number 2, and then I do just as if you were marking out an actual chart, right? Variable 1, variable 2, and then I write reversal point, discount of current leg below equities open, confirmation, close above candle that punctured, market maker buy model, and then I write current environment equals trending. So I have a couple of things here. I'm identifying, variable 2 is the SMR. I'm identifying what the environment is currently like. So if we're trending or we're consolidating, I'm identifying what kind of market maker buy model it is. I'm identifying the confirmation. Were we below equities open? So what price point or what opening price am I using? Am I using 6 a.m.? Am I using equities? Am I using 10 a.m.? And then were we at a discount? And then I pretty much just save this. Right, take a screenshot of it. Save. And then I move on. And so ideally, what you want to do with your live trades is, for example, you want to take, if you're in a trade, like for example here, if you're in this trade, you want to take a screenshot now, and then you take a screenshot after. Right? Because you want an unbiased picture. Because the thing is, when you're journaling, I know you guys feel the same exact way. When you're journaling, you're less likely to journal if it's a loss. I think we all kind of resonate with that. But what you do is if you start your journal before the trade, bands, it is. If you start your journal before the trade and you take a screenshot of the before the trade, you're more likely to journal after and continue that journal process because you've already started it before. And so now you have a before picture, which is unbiased. And then you have, because when you journal after you take a loss or a win, it's obviously going to be biased, right? Like you're going to write positively if it's a win, and you're more likely to write negatively if it's a loss. But if you do a screenshot of it before and you kind of give your ideas and you write what you want to see, are my variables here? Where is my model? And then you mark it up then you're more likely to finish this process at the end of the trade as opposed to you not doing it at all. Does that make sense? You're giving your most unbiased opinion at the beginning of the trade. Yeah. No, it is super time consuming. And what I do for my TradeZella, for example, let me just send this to you or send this to you guys, is I have my pre and post market analysis. So this is what this consists of, and I'll share it with you guys here. So my pre-market thesis, I have to determine my daily bias. I have to mark up the original consolidation. I have to determine if we're doing internal to external or external to internal. And then I just mark out the obvious, and I have an indicator to do all this for me. So it's like midnight and 4 hour, that already I have an indicator to do that. So those are already automatically checked off. And then the rest are kind of just I already kind of see them because I'm already, it's called, what is it called? It's called Key Times by Ollie. Key Times by Ollie. And then post-market review is just, did the market draw towards your expected bias, yes or no? Where was the smart money reversal located? So just what I was writing, right? Was it at a discount? Was it below equities open? Was it below 10 a.m. open? What could have been prevented / done better? Did I overtrade? Was my trade a little too early? What was missing for my entry criteria? Did I not wait for a close above? How did you feel during the trade? I felt a little bit stressed. My heart was racing. I think I should have risked less. How did the stop placement perform? It performed well. It could have been a little bit tighter. I could have been a little bit wider, etc. You guys get the idea. So just ask yourself. It takes 2 minutes to fill this out. And it's easy to do every day. But all right, boys, I'm going to call it here. I appreciate you all 40 of you. I know it's a little odd time in the day, and I know everyone's done after 11 a.m. in the morning, but I appreciate those that come by, and this will be posted to YouTube. So I will talk to you guys soon. Yeah. Bye.